how does someone come from having a background in IT, then move to accounting, and then now you find yourself in the electoral policy space?
First of all, let me say that what I wanted to do started actually in A levels. That is the time when you are doing this system of 7-4, 7-4, and then 2, and then you go to the university. So that's when I developed interest in accounting, and precisely I was working towards that, and sincerely I got that opportunity to be in Nairobi University to do accounting degree, Bachelor of Commerce accounting option. So you see, immediately after that, what comes or what portends for you is basically being in accounting field, and therefore I focused more, first of all, on auditing. That's where actually I did a lot of my initial work, but it took, like, for example, just 2 years in an auditing firm, and then now I went now into a public sector, basically in post and telecommunication. There I actually worked in accounting field, credit control. So my passion has always to work in this field. But then later on, I had to switch role. Now instead of now accounting, is now to examine what the accountants do. So I took the auditing role, and this way also I took a lot of time, and I got exposed to so many things, including processes that basically runs the institution. For example, look at the sales cycle, look at the procurement cycle, look at the revenue assurance part of it, looking at how expenditures are actually being made. So that exposed me to a lot of these processes, and it built my career in that area. So now I had worked in different areas, but now there are also additional roles, because even when I was an accountant, and now I'm the chief compliance officer or chief internal auditor, I was forced now to audit certain areas which were not actually under my profession. For example, you will be forced to do auditing on say information systems, or you do auditing on maybe on telecommunication, how networks are actually being made, how services are being rolled out, and dimensions that basically are not even in your domain. So I got to learn a lot of these things. I spent like 20 years in telecommunication industry. So that's where actually now the issue of now tech also now came into me. Like I told you, I used to have my own small accounting firm, but I had to pack it because working in the commission's public office, you cannot do 2 roles. You have to focus in public service until when you leave. So I packed that job, and my partner is running it. That's how is my history in terms of moving, like we were saying, now from accounting to ICT, again now to election management. How did I ground myself there? It's because of this passion of wanting to, whenever I'm challenged, I want to deeply understand that specific area so that I can be able to add. And then also adding value. It's not just going to work there. What more can I bring? Because like if I work in telecommunication industry, when I came to election management, I had to bring a lot of process improvements. Policies were not in place, procedures were not in place. I spearheaded that. And true to what my actual friend said, that we know you are somebody who can be able to bring positive changes. I don't want to brag, but I think I've contributed somehow in terms of bringing sanity into election management in the country.
Yeah, how did you earn the people who are able to give you the nudge to be like, see, you can do this? Because it's other than you recognizing the capacity you had and the propensity to want to learn new things and to operate in new fields, you seem to also mention something about like the people around you who are able to nudge you towards doing this different thing, taking on the opportunity, and like to just introduce you to, let's say, maybe the available opportunity. How would you say, just answer it the way you envision what I'm asking you in your mind. Like, how did you earn these people around you, the networks?
So it is actually, for me, I focus first of all most in building trust. Whenever I go to new areas, you are going to meet challenges. People will not like you because they see you as somebody who has come there maybe to take their positions. So I take time to understand them and to showcase them what I can be able to do to them. There are people, for example, when I joined the commission, they couldn't work with me. They would prefer to work direct with the CEO. But with the time, I earned their trust because I was able to bring improvements, and therefore they relied on me rather than going direct. Because also the CEO would say, okay, this one you brought to me, but I want it to be reviewed by the deputy CEO. So when they saw that I'm adding value in the process, that's when now they start to trust my my work. That's how I was able to earn trust. It was like initially us versus them. At a particular time when I joined the commission, the CEO and myself were just new, and plus a bunch of other directors who were there. We were new. So it was like us versus them. But through time, we were able to build that trust, and we were able to gel and work together very, very closely. I think that in itself is something that has made me to also sail through so many challenges that we have had. So gaining trust, I think, is very, very important. Showing them how you can be able to assist them to improve the processes. Also learning from them. It is actually a two-way process. That to me helped me in terms of cultivating that good environment. Staff who are below me, they're able to trust me. Those who also are working with me at peer level were able to trust me.
Okay.
That's how I was able to trust.
Okay. I have 3 last questions, and I want to see how I can match 2 and then ask you one last one. You speak about moving through different tools and seeing them as opportunities. How do you think about these transitions when you are in that moment? You see, this is sort of like in retrospect and creating a narrative out of it. But in the moment, how do you think about the fears, the anxieties, the unknowns? And then I want to merge that with, do you think about building passion in the new field, or you just put aside the thought of passion and just say, this is a new challenge, I'm going to take it. It doesn't matter if I have historical passion or passion which intersects with something I've built on, and you just be blind to the idea of passion and just be like headstrong and strong-willed about it. I'm going to learn it. That you just make sense of the 2 questions and then answer it in any way.
Yeah, for me, I think for me, first of all, there is nothing that cannot be learned by human beings. And therefore, when I'm challenged, I'm taking a new area. For me, then it's the issue of fear does not even arise. Like, for example, when I was moving from an auditing background to becoming a deputy CEO, I was actually confronted with a lot of questions, including close friends of mine who are saying, you are working in an area, you're actually checking people. How do you then move from this environment to a new environment whereby, and that particular environment, whenever you go to a new environment, there are always things that you've learned in the past that you can use them as low-hanging fruits to actually improve the areas. We are trained in different environments. Having worked in service industry for long, and the experience that I gained there, I was also going to a new service industry, providing services. I've learned about customer experience, how to improve it. I've learned about very many processes that actually by and large use there. I've worked at governance level because I was meeting with the board of directors and all this. So I thought I had a lot of knowledge that I can be able to quickly just go there and be able to implement, bringing meaningful changes, new small changes in a way that I basically understood. That to me actually gave me the ground and the appetite to move from an area that I was comfortable to a completely different new areas. Because I believe that even when I'm going into a new area, there's still some certain thing that I can be able to bring a small positive change in a way. Like, for example, I'll tell you, immediately I went to the commission, the first thing I did was basically to improve risk management processes. They were actually at ground zero. That is the first thing that I started. Working and institutionalizing risk management in the commission's work. Anything we decide, what are the inherent risks that are likely to affect this project? and how can we be able to mitigate them. That is the first thing I actually started introducing. So I was known to be like, this man, this is actually his area. But again, also process improvement I brought. There were no processes in place. I brought templates that we could be able to use to actually define our processes. So with the time, we were able to build the processes, policies, new policies. We came up with the new policies. But also, ICT area. There are so many things that are basically done in that specific area. Some of the decisions that were made, if I could not be able to challenge some of the decisions that were there, probably will not be where we are today. So me personally, I believe that you can move to a completely new area and you find new opportunities that can even sell you more than where you were grounded before. So you just need to face the bull by the horn and give it your best. And I want to believe that by doing so, you'll basically achieve what you want.
You've almost answered the last question, so I'm just going to say in very few words, what do you enjoy? What do you find yourself enjoying the most about your work currently?
Well, election management is very, very challenging. And you are always challenged every day, coming up with the new ideas of doing the same thing and probably even improving on what you have. That to me keeps me driving. In 2017, we failed miserably when the elections were nullified. I was given the responsibility of leading a team to do things differently. We succeeded in the fresh presidential election. Then later on, I was given the work of conducting the 2020 general election as the CEO. I succeeded, but still there are things that needs to be improved. That to me gives the motivation to even now see what can be done further to improve on the processes. So those are things that keep me going. New challenges, new opportunities. So like for example, I'm in this conference, but I see a lot of opportunities that we can actually be able to bring on board and improve our processes. May not necessarily be very large, but certainly it can improve. The other time I was invited virtually to speak about how can you be able to improve this area of legal through use of AI. And simple ideas like, for example, taking plays, maybe using the artificial intelligence to record, for example, transcripting, translating, doing research, were things that were just coming in my mind. It may not necessarily be in election management, but there are simple things, for example, speech recording, translating it into text, and making already available minutes, doing research in specific topical areas. These are things that were done by human beings, but they can be done very fast. And you don't need to be a legal guy for you to be able to understand this. You only need to know what is required to be done. So for me, everything is possible. Whenever there are new opportunities, I look at what can I be able to use those opportunities to actually improve my areas, knowing that also there are risks inherent in those processes. But whenever there are also risks, there are opportunities, there are also mitigation measures. So that is what has been driving me as a person. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, thanks, Marjan, for giving us insight into your journey and work. And I hope all goes well with your continuing work and whatever comes next after this. Okay, thank you.